confirmation yet?
You still have to act like you're going.
Oh, I gotta act like I'm going?
Just talk like you're going. Act like everything's normal.
Just introduce yourself.
I got stage
You're
right
good,
now.
you're on.
I'm on? Okay. Hey, my name is Eric Doggett.
Like 30 seconds to this.
Today I'm going to be showing you unarmed combat. I'm going to be doing an animation with the Confessor. She's going to be doing a kick. So this is we've been working on unarmed combat for about a week and trying to get all the archetypes done this week so that hopefully in one of the future builds in the next couple weeks we can finally start seeing this in game. This is in response to when you start in the game, you have no armor, you have no weapons, and it doesn't make sense that if you have a champion running around with a giant axe and he's doing no damage. So we're taking the axe out, we're giving them an unarmed combat so they can punch and slap each other all they want until they finally construct these weapons for the game. So this is one of the animations that I've already completed. This is the champion's Tiger Punch. So this is his first base attack. I'm happy with it. And this is his attack sequence.
You just had to get that in there. You saw an opportunity.
I saw an opportunity. I took it.
You pounced on it.
I pounced on it. Now to the real deal. Confessor. She is, I started on her unarmed combat pose, so a little karate, a little kung fu-y, but not too much. I really wanted to base this off of Asami from Legend of Korra, which is one of my favorite cartoons of all time. So I got Aang and Korra here, so just use this as kind of like a basis for the idle pose. So, all right, let's get into the meat and potatoes of it. I think what I want for her to do is a spinning kick. Usually in these streams, I have a lot of prep work done. I have the poses all done, and you just see me doing timing and polish. But I'm just going to wing it. I'm just going to just start from scratch here. So here we go. So basics, idle pose, just going to key everything here. Going to move to frame 1, and we're going to start posing her. So I got some thumbnails down here. I'm not going to show you them because they're atrocious looking, but it gives me like a storyboard of what to work off of. So she's going to be turning to her back and doing a spin kick. So let me start working on this first pose. Sometimes I like to just grab everything and go to bind pose so that I have a clean pose to work off of. Let's just do a couple of quality of life. Let's make her head local. That way when she turns, her head turns with her instead of always staring forward, because she's going to be doing a spinning attack. It's just going to be a pain in the neck to try and keep all this going. So local, let's make the eyes local. Eyes are local, perfect. Okay, let's do this. So she's going to be turning towards the back. Left foot is going to be planted. By the way, Max is here with me today. Max, say hi.
Hey folks, how are you?
My, I don't know, my Robin,
Everyone's Robin.
you're everybody's Robin. You need a better sidekick than Robin. I need a better sidekick than Robin. I mean,
Robin turns into Nightwing though.
or he turns into Dead if you're Jason Todd.
Or, I'm not the Jason Todd Robin, I'm the Max Lancaster Robin.
Max Lancaster Robin.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have yet to see what he turns into.
He could turn into something great. You were the chosen one. Bring this leg over. I'm probably not going to be talking too much because I have a lot of animation to do in a very short time. So I'll be more than willing to answer any questions. So we're going to balance the hips are going to be going up like this, and this foot here is going to be cocked and ready to throw the kick. Let's bring the hips up. Over this foot, do this, then let's counter the upper body. So usually, you know, with good posing, you want to do opposites. So the hips are going up like this, and you want the shoulders to kind of go up like this, and this gives a nice curve to the body, and this also lets us push the hips over the foot a little bit more and creates a good line of action. So let's do this. Arm's a little crazy right now. Pull the shoulder up. This one down, this one up. Get in front of her. Do, 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 do. Let's close this fist. What's up? What we got? You're laughing.
I'm thinking it kind of looks like she's gonna do the thriller dance.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's very awkward right now. Let's go ahead and just close both of these fists. Let's point this out. And then she needs to be looking at what she's going to be hitting. You're laughing, Max. What's going on?
She's just winding up. It's weird to see the Confessor, you know, like about to jaw somebody.
Confessor is a beast. She's my favorite as far as range class goes.
Who's your favorite melee? Is it the Myrmidon?
It's a toss-up between Myrmidon and Duelist.
Ooh.
Duelist melts face right now.
Very different. Very different.
Yeah.
Durenthal says that watching this makes him want a monk with fist weapons.
I want a monk too. Oh, I am growing out my beard, and
No shade November?
no, I'm protesting.
Oh.
I'm protesting that we have not done the Forge Master yet, so I will not shave until we start working on the Forge Master. And hopefully by the time I start working on the Forge Master, I'll have this nice gnarly beard.
Forge Master beard.
Yeah, I stopped shaving last week.
Oh boy. Well, I think you'll win some fans in the community for that. There's a lot of people that they've been wanting the Forge Master. He will come.
I love dwarfs.
Kron67 asks, are all classes getting unarmed combat?
Yes, sir, they are. Right now, as far as what we have completed, we have the Myrmidon unarmed completed, the Champion completed, the Knight completed, Ranger completed, most of the Legionnaire, and then the Druid and the Confessor being worked on today, and I guess tomorrow is just going to be the Duelist, and then finishing up the Legionnaire. If everything goes perfectly.
Right.
There's a lot of back and forth, like once we finish the animation, getting it in game, making sure it looks right, so.
Yeah.
But yes, that is the plan, is everybody's getting unarmed.
And the unarmed combat should be in the Friday test and the weekend test.
Yeah, if there's no hiccups.
Right.
But all right. So let's kind of get her a little bit more on her toes for this. Let's make sure the balance is right, and let's lift her up like here. Okay. Move her frame. It's going to be the next one. So her hips are going to be facing you. I want her more in the air. This foot up here coming around. Next time I do one of these, Max, I'm going to have to bring in my own monitor. This thing has way too much glare on it. My old eyes can't see. Let's overcompensate with the body. And then let's pull this up. Yeah, all I see is the Tiger Chat t-shirt and a little bit of the Confessor.
Can you borrow Sam's sunglasses?
He'll lose all of his powers.
It's true.
Sam is one cool dude. I like that guy.
He is a cool dude. Good engineer.
Good engineer. I don't know. We can leave the arms like that. What do you think?
I think that looks natural.
Natural? Yeah?
It's very primal. Kate says, I want the Confessor to do the Karate Kid kick.
Yeah, we can do that. Not on this one. That's not what I had planned, but yeah, we can do double front snap kick, landing on the good foot. Wait, which Karate Kid?
He didn't specify, man. I'm assuming the original.
Hope so. There's plenty of people here that haven't seen the classics. Oh no, it's just I got it. I can see through it.
You can kill the lights and have them do it in the dark.
You want me to kill the lights?
No, they won't be able to see me. No, we're good.
Well, not that light.
What would that look like? Just turn the light off. See what
I don't know. You want me to try?
Just
Yeah?
turn that light off. See what it looks like.
I have to turn it on over here.
Oh right. Try it. Give him a fair warning that the lights.
Yeah, the lights are about to turn off. We're trying to fix a glare issue on my monitor.
Let me see how you look after this.
Yeah, it's gonna be like 20 seconds before.
Mood lighting in here.
Actually,
How's that?
yeah,
Is that better?
that's better.
Thanks. Talking in NPR voice.
That was interesting. He was a little bit bright, but
I can turn it down.
Yeah, there we go.
I don't know. I feel like you're not gonna be able to see him. Oh. Maybe turn it down a little bit.
We can put the lights back
A little
on.
bit brighter.
One more. It's really hot out here. Very good.
Alright, we're gonna.
We're futzing with the lights right now. So I'm not going to be kicking with this foot here. I'm going to be kicking with this back foot here. So this is just kind of like leading up to the strike. So usually with these spin kicks, yeah, that works. Maybe the hips are still a little bit more cocked like this. This foot needs to be a little bit higher up. Just relax these fingers a little bit. It's too mirrored with the hands, so leave that shoulder. There we go. So how is it, Max, hearing my voice on a 20-second delay?
A little jarring.
A little jarring?
Yeah. Just want to make sure we're not running into, you know, the pizza rolls. Denial.
I can't believe that. Poor Blair. I'll probably come back to this pose in a little bit. Let's move on to the next one. All right. Hips are going to be completely facing us now. We're going to drop this foot. And then we're going to cock this foot back and around for the strike. Let's see. Here we go. Shoulders down like this. Is everybody behaving?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of questions about unarmed combat in the chat that Blair is answering.
Okay, good. Yeah, he would be the perfect person to answer that. I do my own sound effects. They never make it in game though.
For good reason most of the time.
Yeah. Let's do that. And then counter the shoulders. And then probably going to be pulling this foot back because you want to pull it around like this. Like have that knee facing forward a little bit. Maybe her still leaning back. I don't know. We'll see when I get further into it. Okay. This is going to be here.
Yozaro asks, which format are you using for your animation files? Doing anything fancy during export or import?
The animation files, the art files are just max files. The export is FBX. Basically, the export process is here we go. It's kind of all on the screen. I just grab all the bones, and then I export, select it, and then I name my file, and it's just an FBX. So.
Ed1460 asks, is this a flying spin kick or one that you use the ground to pivot on?
This one's going to be in the air. With the new direction that we take in combat where you have free movement, to combat foot sliding, we try to keep things either the feet kind of stepping or we're trying to keep them in the air for the hits. So it's a delicate balance.
Avoid the funny looking split body, my legs are kind of walking, my arms are swinging around wild.
Yeah, usually if they're grounded for the strikes, we'll do split body, but we try to avoid it as much as possible. And we're working on other things to combine split body with these full body actions, trying to maintain the quality. So combat's gonna feel good, but be a little funky for a little while until we can do a real pass on a lot of this stuff to give it a real beauty pass.
Mira Luna asks, is this animation like the harvesting where they'll all be very similar, or does each archetype have its own style?
Each archetype is going to have its own style. Every attack animation is going to be 100% unique for these unarmed attacks. And
so you said for the Confessor you're going for kind of a Legend of Korra style kind of martial arty.
Yeah, I like, and we'll see how that feels on her. I might end up doing something different if it feels too far out of character. But we'll see. I mean, it's you know, sometimes you have to find the fun. Turn this out. There we go. That's feeling better, isn't it, Max?
You can see it's starting to take form.
Yeah, it's always really rough at the beginning. But these are, we're just trying to tell a story here. So, and also something like this, I usually will spend, you know, up to 45 minutes a pose on this. So I'm kind of flying through these pretty quickly. I have to say I've been really enjoying watching some of the streams. Yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's so chaotic to watch Ziz's video, that melee that was happening. Zyback, man, that dude melts face. He's pretty good.
Yeah, it's really exciting to watch players in Big World too. Like Big World is really just it's changed the game literally.
It has.
But watching, especially with the combat changes, watching people have fun in those big brawls.
Yeah, I jumped into a streamer, McLean. Yeah, and watching him, he was trying to protect some harvesters. I think it was a Caldera guild, and so he was watching after them and trying to keep the gankers away from them. So it's interesting the gameplay that's coming out of this just when we dump them into the
that
sandbox.
emergent gameplay that comes out of just interesting systems.
Yeah.
That's what's really exciting about it. It's the closest we've come so far to like the actual campaigns that we want on a large scale.
Yeah, I mean, Hunger Dome and Siege Perilous was a good testing ground, but it was very, it wasn't the game, and it was also these quick bursts of gameplay that people were able to experience, and we were building the game, and so it was frustrating, you know, with the bugs and, you know, features kind of coming in, so it's tough for players to play a slice of it and not know the entire picture that we're building.
Right.
And this is a bigger piece of the pie that they can see this picture, or you know, this product that we want to put out there.
Right.
All right, so let's step through these. Okay, let's move on to the next keyframe. Okay, this next pose is really gonna like kind of set where the previous and the next poses are. So this next pose might I might go back and completely change this one. So this foot is going to hit the ground. In fact, I can just zero out these transforms. So she's going to hit the ground like this.
Michaelian asked, will there be any difference in combat animations for male to female archetypes?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have an entire plan for the gender variants. Those are gender variants I feel are going to come in later because we need to get all the archetypes in first, regardless of the male and female variation. That way that we can prove out their abilities and their combat. And the timing is going to be the same. The damage is going to be the same. Men and women are equal, but there's going to be a different style to them. Like the hits are going to happen at the same time, but like the male champion, he might like come in for overhand chop, whereas the female champion might come in with the underhand swing. Well, it's not going to be a direct copy and paste on the stuff. So we're going to give the gender variants just as much love as we gave the original variant. Okay, so this foot lands, and this foot is cocked and ready to bring the pain. I was watching the comments from my last stream, and there seemed to be some confusion about when I say frame rate. Frame rate for me when I'm authoring these is completely different than frame rate in game. What I say when I say 30 frames per second is that is a standard that I can animate by, that I know like that this is a set rate, that like this is 1 second, that way that I'm not like having a variable change frame rate. And this scales up and this scales down perfectly. It scales up to 60 frames per second, perfectly, because what happens is like regardless of whether or not like you have a frame going, you still have the in between frames in max that they'll alert between it, so the information is still there. And also we have different settings depending on like the different like regions and different formats. Like if I was animating for film or TV, it would be 27 frames per second, 27.5 or whatever. PAL is different from NTSC. I can crank it up to 1,000 frames per second, and if I wanted to, I don't want to manage that, but I can if I want to. But there's no difference in quality once you get in the game. Older game engines like Embryo would only accept 30 frames per second, even like as an input. So that's the reason why we had to stick with that. And so there you go. Just the more you know. That way that there's nobody. There's no misconceptions about that. We're aiming for a lower frame rate. That's not what I'm doing at all. This is just to help me author this. Okay, so she's dropping. She's going from up here to down here. So let's drag the arm. Let's turn it up. Oh, yeah, I was mentioning about like some of the sweet summer children here that have not seen some of these movies. Tommy.
I mean, it's basically Tommy.
It's basically Tommy.
We love Tommy.
We do.
He is precious.
He is a precious little boy. But he hasn't seen Goonies. He hasn't seen Explorers, E.T., Karate Kid.
E.T. is an egregious offense.
Yeah. He needs to see the original E.T., like, where they had guns, not walkie-talkies. Or maybe, he needs to see that version. But I just want to take Tommy, and I need to
Take him under your wing.
Yeah, under.
Just watch the movies with him.
Yeah. I think most of it is he just doesn't want to invite me over to his house.
He's afraid of what might happen.
He's afraid he might like it. So tip of this foot to the tip of this foot, this is going to be a line. I always talk about a line of action, so this one's not too good of a line, so let's adjust the hips until it feels right. This looks good. Shoulder's a little wonky. There we go. Let's duck this neck a little bit. I want the male Confessor to be fat. I think Eric Hart's game for that too, like a fat like monk. He's always talking about his chicken.
I'm trying to remember the character from Avatar.
Uncle Iroh.
Yeah, that's exactly. Who
He always likes his green tea. I know jasmine tea.
That's what
Yeah,
he was, the Confessor. He
yeah.
was Uncle Iroh from.
Everything works with a nice cup of jasmine tea. I love Iroh. Guys, if you have not watched that series, do yourself a favor and watch it.
It's a great series.
It is. Did you hear they're bringing back Young Justice season 3?
I didn't.
Young Justice, one of my favorite DC animated TV shows. Like, there's Batman from the 90s. You can't beat that. Best animated, like American animated TV show ever.
I liked Batman Beyond as well.
Batman Beyond was like, Terry McGinnis is the only person to ever carry the Batman mantle that wasn't Bruce Wayne. I will give him that. Batman Beyond was, I didn't like the high heels. I didn't like the heels with the bat suit, but everything else was pretty outstanding. Should this foot go forward or back? Maybe have her land on her toe a little bit and pull this back. She probably needs to go forward in general. So you see me stepping back and forth between the keys. So I'm trying to get a feel for how this animation flows. And because we're not a movie, I have to make sure it looks good from all the different angles. Yeah, this kind of gets funky from the back. The neck breaks a little bit. Ruh-roh. I'm excited about Dave's stream.
Any particular reason?
Yeah, I mean, Stalker, I guess. Yeah, I'm excited about that.
It's gonna be cool.
I love watching Dave paint.
Yeah, I have a cool view from my desk because I can see Dave's monitor at pretty much all times. So I get to kind of watch the progressions of the paintings. It's like I get a free episode of Bob Ross every single day.
Minus the fro.
Without the fro. But all of the charm.
Yeah. Yeah, Greco doesn't give himself enough credit. That dude is,
Incredible artist.
yeah, so talented, and he is always like, man, like, just one day I'm going to be good. I'm like, you're already good.
He is very hard on himself.
He is, and it's probably the reason why he's so good.
It's an artist thing, though. I mean, you and Cook are hard on yourselves, too.
We're hard on each other.
You're hard on each other. Cook gives you some tough love.
Yeah, like that time I bought him a ball, and he forgot about it, and he let his dog eat that ball. That's a nice ball. It was like his welcome to King's Isle present that I got him. And
The dog ate it.
well, years later, he forgot that he barely remembered that I gave him that ball. I was at Terra Toys. I'm like, Cook would love this ball. It lit up. It had stuff inside of it. It bounced really high. It was a super high bouncy ball. You know what he said after he remembered? He goes, "Oh, it didn't bounce that high." Not like, "Oh, thank you for the gift. I love you, Doggett, as much as you love me."
Cook
He's gonna be really mad once he sees this stream. I'm gonna have to live with this.
quell the rage.
Yeah.
You can sit next to him too. There's no getting away from him.
There isn't. No getting away from his cold heart.
He's a fierce creature.
Mm-hmm. Feel like this pose could be better. Like maybe lean it out a little bit more. Okay. All right, now let's move on to the impact. All right, so what I like to do with punches or kicks is I like to do the before and then the after. I don't like showing the strike because sometimes it, like, even though that's what happens in real life, it gets kind of poppy. It doesn't feel right. Like if you read a lot of animation resources, like the Animator's Survival Kit talks about, you follow through on that action. So you don't show the impact. You show like the before and then the after frame. So it's almost like frame. In traditional animation, that's usually like 12 frames per second. Like, but for me, is I usually have about 3 frames from like the before and then the after. And so what's good to do is if you have a quick action, you either have a slow action before or after it to let the brain catch up and read. So if I go punch, I gotta hold it here if I'm moving really quickly here. So you have like the punch. Not as exaggerated as that, but that's usually a good way to get to let it read. And also there's different ways that you can do it. Timing is all about like flavor and what you can do it. So you can have a guy jumping and he can just be jumping like this, or you can have a guy jumping, or you can have a fat guy jumping. So can you see this?
I can, yeah. I was just checking to make sure.
So timing makes all the difference. Or you can have a balloon. So, and I like to do that a lot with especially more cinematic animations, to where like I will hold like this anticipation like right before the punch and then like just slam in there. Moving on to the next pose. Yes, Max?
No,
Just giggling to yourself?
someone said, I hope this was scripted. Tell me this was scripted.
What?
I think they were talking about Cook. And Cook also was in the chat a little bit too. He says, stop whining. He's just a...
The United States of the cold-hearted cook.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I mean,
You put yourself out there.
I do.
Telling that ball story, and he kind of just dismissed it.
He did.
I think he's just illustrating the point you were trying to make.
Mm-hmm.
So, I got to work with him on something later too.
What are you going to work on him with? Can you talk about it?
No.
Sweet.
Does that help you? It's actually just correcting some of the blend times for animations.
Mm-hmm. I mean, say I gave you a really nice ball.
Ed?
No, gave you.
Oh, you gave me a really nice ball.
Would you cherish it?
Yeah, of course. But you did give me a ball. You gave me one of those squeezy balls.
That's right, yeah.
I carry it around every day.
Yeah, to help with your grip.
It's more like for me, it's just relieving my stress when you guys all gang up on me in the office. But
Yeah. One day you're going to be in the position to shit on somebody else, Max. And then that day you're just going to take all this pent-up rage and you're just going to use it, and you're going to do some amazing shits. I mean, like the guys that made fun of me and teased me when I was first in the industry, I had to up it. I had to up the game. So you're receiving the evolution of what's there.
What does that say about the future of our industry?
It's just, yeah. It's going to be harder and harder to get in because.
Everyone's so mean.
Yeah.
And watch your language, dog. There might be kids in this stream.
They have to learn from someone.
Well,
I always find it funny when somebody tells me to watch my language because I don't know I'm saying it.
you don't know any better.
I don't know any better. I'm a victim of my upbringing.
Someone asked if the Confessor, Nicholas Lionwriter asked if the Confessor was dabbing.
What's dabbing? Yeah, I probably need to really show the follow through with this.
I don't have my glasses on. I can't tell if Alice Scallon.
Language.
I gotta watch my language. There's very few people I listen to, and Val is one of them. From now on, I'll just say donut. Now I'm afraid to talk. I am a creative individual. You gotta let this peacock fly. Anyway, where were we about Cook?
You want to loop this conversation back around to Cook? You talk about Cook so much already.
Yeah,
The center of your world.
he is.
Good guy though.
He is. To everyone else.
He's just a little rough around the edges. I know he's watching too. He's probably fuming right now.
Yeah, probably is.
I could drag him in, have him make a cameo, have him apologize about the ball.
He won't apologize. He never apologized. His dog Sherlock ate the ball that I gave him.
The thing about that story that's alarming is he said the ball lit up. Like a dog should really not be eating an electronic device like that. That's
Are gifts in general.
yeah.
I'm still upset about the ball. I'm just still thinking about it. I'm sorry, guys. Just
Ziz wants you to spill the beans on the next archetype, and
spill the beans on the next archetype.
yeah, don't do that though.
No, I can't do that.
No, I don't even know why I brought it up actually. As a producer, don't you? I'm telling you, you can't.
Later. Yeah, Ziz, I really like that video, man. Looked like you were melting some face too. Let's see. This one's probably gonna need another in-between pose. So she's kicking around like this. So One thing when I smooth out the animation, I just got to make sure that this arc is nice with that foot.
Ziz said, "Thanks, Doggett. I really like your animations and your tiger punching."
It's good to hear. Ziz tells it like it is, you know? He'll let me know if I'm shitty. I mean, crappy. God! Bad Doggett. You know what the problem is?
You cook?
Cook.
Yeah.
So, I think I need to go on a road trip.
Clear your head?
Clear my head. Yeah, experience the world. Meet new people.
Are you trying to make Cook jealous? Are you trying to make him feel bad about the ball?
I try to make him feel jealous. He doesn't feel anything. He feels mild annoyance that this conversation is still going on. That's what he's feeling.
So true. I can't believe these are the questions I'm asking. Kron67 asks, what would be Doggett's ideal ball?
Oh man, I had so many balls at King's Isle. I can say balls, right? Because we're talking about
in certain
yeah,
contexts,
in certain
yes,
contexts,
you can say
yes.
the word balls.
I had so many balls. I had one that was like a globe. It was like I held the entire earth in my hands. These mighty, mighty hands. I really like a hollow ball that bounces really high.
Yeah.
Like one of my least favorite balls is a golf ball because those bounce really far, and I didn't know that when I was a kid. So like I had a golf ball in my hand and I was throwing it at the ground because I thought like, you know, you feel it and you're like, this thing won't bounce.
Yeah.
This isn't rubber. It's hard. It's just gonna go clink clink. So I threw it as hard as I can, and that thing bounced and like hit me right in the mouth like that. Almost lost a tooth. I've never been more deceived by a ball in my entire life.
That's tragic.
It is.
That explains a lot about who you are now.
Yeah.
It's one of those defining life stories.
Probably need to.
Tina said, this is exactly how I picture a dog reviewing ball toys.
Tennis, dude, you're awesome. I have to say thank you. You're one of our biggest. You know, I don't know. You're always on the forums. You're always on YouTube. You're always answering questions. You're always doing the Wikipedia. Like
He's got an awesome resource site.
He's awesome resource site. Like just a good source of fair positivity in our community. And I just have to say, man, keep it up.
Yeah, we love tennis.
Yeah, we do. Thanks a lot, man. Okay, and then we're going to, next frame is we're going to land the foot. So, keep this here, and then continue its path down here. And this is probably going to affect the hips on the previous frame, depending on how I land this.
Oh, I see. Now I understand why the Confessor is your favorite ranged archetype. Because she throws balls.
Yeah.
It all makes sense.
But nobody brings them back to her.
That's sad.
It is. It's sad. All those balls out there and nobody fetches.
It's like you giving balls to Cook. They never.
Yeah, they never come back. You know somebody for long enough. Let's drag this arm a little bit more. This is going to give us some overlapping motion. And let's try and keep her eyes on the prize.
So all the different archetypes have their own style of animations.
Mm-hmm.
How do you go about deciding what they're gonna look like? Like, do you get together with Melissa and Eric and Dave and go, hey, what do we, do we want the Confessors to be sort of a martial artsy melee combat?
Well, yeah, we have a animation kickoff meeting when the character is modeled, when Eric finishes with them, and the powers are designed. That's also very important because Blair kind of gives us a high-level overview of this guy is going to be slow, strong attacks, like with the champion. So we get in a room and we list out all the powers and we talk about them, and then we also talk about who they are, what the lore is, how that lore goes into their personality. The champion was a gladiator, so in my head, that's the only modern day equivalent that we have is professional wrestler. So I wanted to kind of get that swagger and that kind of like bigger than life attitude with them. There's also feedback from Todd. He has very specific ideas on how certain characters should look and interact. He had a lot to do with the Ganeshan. So, but it's kind of an ongoing process. Sometimes we try to push outside the box. Sometimes it works really well. Sometimes it's like, wow, that's completely out of character for this.
The duelist came out so great. I love his animations.
Yeah, he was a lot of fun to do.
So much character, so much charm.
He was tough. He was a tough character to animate. The Myrmidon was probably the easiest. I had a lot of fun with him.
Why was he the easiest, out of curiosity?
He was just simple. He had normal proportions. His hands weren't locked down on a two-handed weapon, so it was easier to do a dual-wielding animation with him. Didn't have like a lot of cloth and dress and stuff like that and hair to animate, so I didn't have to spend a lot of time with these secondary motions. So yeah, I mean, all right, I want to do in between here, between these first two.
Michaelian asks, will unarmed strikes be one animation, one hit, or multiple hits? Or will we be seeing, say, 3-hit combos with 3 different animations?
The base attacks are just going to be a 3-hit combo. It's going to be 3 hits. Certain abilities that don't require weapons may or may not be available for you. Like the Myrmidon's like number 2 ability, his kind of headbutt, and the number 1 ability, he doesn't need his axes for that. Can't take away a bull's horns. You don't craft a bull's horns, so he already has that in there. So we try to make it make sense, but also we try to make it even for everybody. So there's a balance there, and I think we're going to be adjusting that as we go along. So I want to kind of get her low for this. Fix the arm, fix this arm. Help me. There we go. Can we have John bleep out every time I say potato? So it's like, I'm like, potato, and it's like, beep. So it sounds like I said something naughty, but I didn't. I just said potato.
We could. I don't know why we would do that.
Hey, what's your dream? So I can potato all over it.
I'll never tell you that.
John, bleep. That's my signal for bleeping. He has to go back and bleep the potato.
Oh, sorry, we actually got a response from Crowfall Gibson. John Gibson, our video guy. His official response to that request is no. He also said beep.
are some of the other gifts? I bought Cook Chrono Trigger when he left me at Aspire.
Is this another sad Cook?
Yes, it is. It's I bought him Chrono Trigger for the DS because he was going to be without like his games and equipment for a couple of weeks. He only would have his DS, so he would have something to play when he was moving to Oklahoma.
That's very nice. That's very thoughtful of you.
It was. He forgot. He forgot that I bought that for him. Now he remembers.
Did he play it and enjoyed it?
I don't know. He might have he might have been like, "Oh, great! I have another treat for my dog."
Fed him Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, this was pre-ball though.
This is even before the ball.
Even before the ball.
This led up to the ball. I'm noticing a pattern.
Yeah. What's going on here?
He says, I was very thankful to that. I never forgot that, you sappy baby.
Hey, Cook, how about that time that we played Mass Effect together that you replaced that memory with Zach?
Oh, man.
What does everybody think? What do you think about this for the poses?
Aislinn said that you're chrono triggered right now.
All right, so we're coming up on the hour mark.
Of the Doggett open-facing therapy session.
Yeah. Oh, I would like to pimp Nocturnal Demise's fantastic T-shirt that he made for me. It's still on sale. I'm sorry, Knock. I know I asked you to put it up, and I promised to buy some more. I haven't bought them yet. I just got back from vacation, so I'm saving up a little bit of money. But I promise you, I'm buying some more T-shirts. I have to have a Monday through Friday Tiger Chat T-shirt. I don't know if they should be all the same color or different colors.
Different.
But yeah, like, wear your colors, guys. Support the Doggett. If you don't, Cook wins. You know what I haven't done in a while? Saved. Boom.
And when you don't save, of the times that you don't, you will crash.
Oh, it will.
Guaranteed. It's Murphy's Law.
Like this morning, Cook crashed. He deserved it.
Did Cook crash this morning?
Yeah, he crashed.
Had he saved?
Yeah, he only lost like 3 minutes of work, but still. It was during our argument about how much he didn't care about me.
You were arguing about that this morning? Is that where all this is stemming from?
It's been this week's argument. As me and Cook's relationship goes, we don't let things go. You know, don't leave work angry.
Right.
That's what I always say. You know, it's like they say, don't go to bed angry. Don't leave work angry. I post a lot. How many pictures do I post of Cook on Facebook?
How many? Oh, a lot.
Yeah, a lot. I'd say over 30 in the past couple of months.
Some would even argue it's an excessive amount.
Yeah.
There's just an outpouring of appreciation.
Yeah, and how many pictures of me has he posted on Facebook and Twitter?
I don't know if I've seen him post one.
I don't think I've seen him post one either. All right, here comes the nervous part. Let's see whether or not this actually works. So let's stretch this out.
It's impressive to me you've actually been like posing this whole time.
Yeah, this one's going to need a little in between. All right, so get her up in the air a little bit quicker. kind of take our time on this to let this read. And pull this in. All right. Any of you aspiring animators to be out there, what you're seeing here between frame 22 and frame 28 is gimbal. Gimbal lock or a Euler lock is where the transforms kind of get mixed up, and so they'll rotate the opposite way that you want to do, which way you want to do. So usually, and also the way that Max does its coordinates. So if I have a frame here and then a frame that's like completely 360, and I want it just to stay like in the same spot, because if she does like a full 360 kick, all of her rotations are going to be like 360 degrees off when I pull it back to idle. So to keep from having to unwind her, I just run an Euler filter, which will
I have no idea what
I
just
don't know.
happened.
I deserve it. So this will basically keep that from happening, and it's a good way to clean up the curves afterwards. So I have a tool that's the Euler filter tool. But if you are not lucky like me and you don't have this, there is a way to do it in Max.
Wisp said that looks like a sloth's hand. That's Todd.
It's Todd. So on frame 22, I'm going to take this ball that I made here, and I'm going to cherish this ball. I'm going to keep this ball. It's going to take it home from me, and I'm going to put it up on a shelf where my cats can't get to it. And you know what? 30 years from now, I'm still going to have this ball. And then I'm going to align it to the foot at this keyframe. I want to make sure that the XYZ axis is there. And then I want to go to the next keyframe, 28. Then I'm going to take the ball. Love this ball. And I'm going to line it down here. And so what this does is it holds a transform for me. So what I can do is I can take this keyframe here and I can delete it, and then I can align it to my ball. And then
That's really cool.
it didn't do it. It did full 360. Actually, I think I need to kind of kill the keyframes before and after. But what you end up having to do is you have to take this ball and you have to snap it to the foot on every single keyframe, and then you run the filter off.
Just a heads up, it's noon.
Okay. Let me run the Euler filter on it. I call it Euler. It's spelled Euler.
But it's pronounced Euler.
Euler.
Yeah.
Anyway, there, fixed. All right, so let's take a look at this and just see what we have. Wow, that is really slow. All right.
That's pretty neat. I wouldn't want to get kicked in the face by a confessor.
Me either. Okay, let's speed all this up. Maybe put it on ones.
Someone,
Probably.
you should probably just peek. You should peek. A ghost?
It's a ghost. Might be our neighbors. Just gotta ignore it. I don't know, as much as I troll everybody here, especially during the streams, I deserve it. If you can't take it, don't dish it out. Am I right?
Absolutely.
I mean, sometimes you potato on people, and sometimes people potato on you.
Sometimes you give someone a ball and
They just throw it away.
their dog consumes it.
All right, so everybody, if this is not your first Doggett stream, you've seen that I will take it from here and I will polish it out and continue to like smooth out the animation and adjust the timing. But I think this is the first time that I've taken you through beginning to end my blocking pass of setting out all these key poses. And so this is about what I would call 60% there. She still needs to return back to her idle pose. Timing is a little off. There's some foot sliding that I need to fix up. But this tells me, in a very general idea, what I want it, like what the animation is going to be. And also this will work. Like, I have a feeling that this will be good for like a moving attack or even just standing still. Eventually, what I want to do is, I mentioned like a combination between full body and split body attacks. And so what I want to do is, like, if they're in the air, they're doing a 360, keep that full body, and then I'm going to put a curve that's like, that has a value of 1 in that animation. And while it's 1, it's going to be a full body animation, and then when it drops to 0, it's going to blend to the split body animation so that she can do this kick, and as soon as that foot hits the ground, she can start running and the feet won't slide, but you still kind of like get that settle with that punch instead of having to like break out of it really quickly. And that way it'll like lend to, like, it'll take away some of the poppiness that we have right now, trying to keep combat fun, fluid, and looking good.
Absolutely.
So I'm at the hour mark. I'm probably going to spend the rest of the day finishing this animation and probably blocking out her second and third attack. Try and get that ready for you guys, hopefully to play around with it next week. Is there any questions? Does anybody have anything that maybe I can answer for them?
Commands? Do save.
Yes?
Nope. I think that's a wrap.
That's a wrap?
Thank you for streaming. And Tennis wants to know if you'll be adding any fire effects to the like base animations for the Confessor.
That would be
Like
a
firebenders, basically.
yeah. That would be a Greg and Aislinn thing. I think they have. We don't want this to be more powerful than that. So, but we might. Who knows?
Sure.
Things change. So let me play this a couple times.
And we don't want players to think that these are powerful attacks necessarily, because, as Blair has mentioned, it should be very obvious you need to craft a weapon.
Exactly.
Real quick. So.
Exactly. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me. Like I said, it's always been a pleasure. I always go back and read the comments from the stream, and if you have any questions for me, or if you have anything that you like, hit me up on Twitter. My Twitter is Doggett3D, 2 G's, 2 T's. Max is going to put that link up. I tried to get back to
3D.
Yeah, at Doggett3. I always try to get back to whoever tweets at me. I love interacting with the community. So thank you, guys.
And Dave Greco's on at 3.
Dave Greco is on at 3
Central Time.
Central Time.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.